What's up, course heroes? Welcome to yet another video. Today we are talking about blogging in New Zenler. So let's get started. Alright, so if you are logged into your school, you have to go in and enable the blog functionality, which can be done from the site menu on top and just click on blog. When you do, you'll see the enable blog button. If you click that, your blog will get enabled. Let me show you what it looks like once it is enabled. This is my other school because you do get 3 schools with New Zenler. And if you're thinking of getting New Zenler, I'll put a link in the description below. But this is my second school, and in this school I have enabled the blog functionality. And you can see here I have 3 different blogs. 2 of them are published because I can see the little icon here which says published, and this one is still in draft mode. Let me show you what this blog looks like for a visitor. Then we'll go into how to create a new blog post, and then finally we'll end with some blog settings that are crucial for your blog as a one-time setup. So I'm going to click on view blog. This will show you what this blog looks like to an outsider who's just visiting your blog for the first time. You'll have a header here which has the blog title, it has a blog description, and then a blog image at the behind it. And towards the bottom will be all your blog posts, and these can be sorted by categories. And then I've also added a get in touch at the bottom of the page, but this can also be something like a sign up to our newsletter or a lead magnet that can lead to a marketing funnel all within New Zenler, which is amazing. Now let's take a look at one of these individual blog posts. So if I click on this one, you can see it has my blog image here. The social media icons are here as well. And then the date that it was published. We'll come back to that date published when we get into blog settings to show you where that is controlled. And here I've just added some text. I've added a button here. I'll show you how to add this button because there's a hack to do this. And then finally I've added some discussions. I will post a link to a blog that I've written on how to add social discussions to your blog posts in New Zenler. Now that being said, the blog functionality is pretty basic, but it's fine because it's still going to get you ranked in Google, and it serves its purpose pretty well, which is having a blog and your website and your courses all in one place. Now let's see what it looks like when creating a brand new blog. So if I go in here, create a new post, the first thing I need to start with is a post title and the post description. Alright, so I've added my post title and description. I'm going to click create. This will create the blog post and bring you into the blog editor. Here you can set your featured image. You can see the recommended size for it, 1000 by 500. This is one of my biggest pet peeves about New Zenler is all these different image sizes are all over the place. I wish they would just consolidate it into one universal size and figure out how to make it responsive to make our life easier, because now my Canva account has all these different sizes to keep track of. Then you have your post URL. You can edit it here. Once I edit it, I can hit update and that'll update the post URL. Let's go back to the blog post. So it has 2 tabs, blog post and settings. We'll get to the settings tab in a moment. And then you can select the author here. Anyone who has the role of an author can be used here for your blog posts. And then if you have setup categories, you can type those or select those here. You can have multiple categories. If you don't see a category here, you can just type one out and hit enter, and that becomes a new category. And then this is where you will write the content. Now New Zenler has their own drag and drop blocks, but they have not made it available on the blogging side. So you are kind of restricted to this pretty vanilla out of the box editor, but again, it serves the purpose. So I can paste some dummy text in here to show you how to edit that. All right, I have added my text, and just to give you a quick overview of this text editor, let's say I take some page breaks here. What I can do after this is, if I want to select this first paragraph, I can make it bold, and I can also change maybe just this first line. So I can select the first line and format it and say this is going to be heading 2, and I'm going to put a line break here and specify that this is actually not going to be heading, it's going to be normal text. So you can do all sorts of editing here with this editor, but again, like I said, it's pretty limited. I can maybe highlight this text right here, and I can add images, I can add tables, bullet, links. So if I select this and I want to add a link here, I can just simply add a link, and just like that I was able to make that text clickable, and then you can increase the size and finally strike through bold, italic. Now the good news is you do have access to the HTML editor. So if you want to do some advanced stuff, you can always go into HTML and write your blog post here using the HTML markup and make it more fancy if you're looking for that. As you can see, there's no place here to add buttons. So what I have done is, if I just go to images, I can select an image, and I had uploaded an image button that I created in Canva, and I can't remember which one it was, but you can select that button image and that will look like a button, but it's truly an image. So if I go back to this blog post here, this download puppy report is actually an image which looks like a button. So that's how you can do it. If you want to embed videos, you'll have to get the embed code from the platform that you have your video on. If you have it on New Zenler doesn't have the embed codes for their own videos. So you have to upload it to Vimeo, Vistia, or YouTube, and then grab that embed code from there. So if I go to any YouTube video, I can click on it, and then on the bottom, you'll see the share button. When you click the share button, you'll see the embed option, and then I can just copy this and go paste it inside the blog here. So I can open up the HTML editor, put the embed code, and if I close this, you can see that video is here. So that's how you can embed videos within your blog post. Once you're done, click update. Of course, don't forget to update the blog featured image. But once you're happy with this blog and everything that you wanted to put in it, next thing is to go to settings. Here you can decide whether you want to show featured image on post page. And what this means is, when I'm on the blog, you'll see the featured image here. But if I click on the blog post, you also see this featured image huge right here. And maybe you don't want to show that. So if you go back to this one, I'm going to actually go back to my posts and show you the settings here. So if I uncheck this and hit update, now if we refresh it, that featured image is gone because I just unchecked that toggle. So that's what this does. And if you like it there, leave it. I personally like to have multiple images. I did check it, but I didn't hit the update button. So now it's back. Then you have the page title and description that you can update in the settings. And then finally, if you have any keywords, which you definitely should be targeting keywords so your blog can rank for those keywords. And then the social media image for when this blog post is shared on social media platforms, that image should show up. And then lastly here, you have a piece of custom code that you can add. So I've added a discuss code here, which is DISQUS, and that allows me to have this comment plugin here show up so that my blog visitors can post their comments there. Now let's go into editing the front page of your blog post and how to go about doing that. That was it for the blog settings here for that specific blog post. There's also settings for your entire blog. And when we go to that settings for the entire blog, this is where your blog title comes in and the description. And then towards the bottom, you have your home page, your blog post page, and then of course we have enable blog. I talked about show create date. This is good to show if you have seasonal content which you constantly need to keep up so your visitors know that they're looking at the latest and greatest. Similarly, if you have content which is evergreen, maybe you don't want to show when that post was created because it could be relevant 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, and you just don't want to have that date, which usually makes visitors think, well, this is an old blog post, what has changed since then? Then you also have your meta keywords for your entire blog, not just for each post. This is for your entire blog. And same thing here with the social media image. Now, if I go into editing the home page, I can click on edit page and show you what that looks like. So this is the blog editor page for your blog home. And here you can see there's some dynamic stuff here. I had added this icon. I can delete it if I want. And then same thing with this background image. I can go and change that background image. So if I go search here, maybe I'll use this one. We have the background image. I can go center and then apply a darker background. There we go. And just like that, you were able to change your background image. This or the background title and description pulls in automatically from your settings here, and they're also up here. And then this section is the dynamic blog section. So if I go to add a new blog, I can just type dynamic here, or I can look on the left side here for the blog section. And then you have a blog post section, blog details, all blogs, and then blog header. So blog header is similar to your site header. The blog details page, if I add this, will basically just be the standard out of the box background image that Zenler provides for every blog, along with the title and the description, and for some reason the word hour. I have no clue why. If I click on the settings, this left side bar, I haven't figured out a way to remove it because there's no delete button for the left side bar. Is always there. But that the settings, if you go back to it, you will see on the right side, these are the things you can control. So under style, you can control the background color. If you don't want to have a background image, maybe you just have a solid color. And then left border style, I guess this is how you do it. No, it still shows even if I change the left border style to none. Same thing with the border width. Even if I remove it or change it to 0, that left border style is still there. So let's save this in preview. Before I do that, I want to remove this second section here that I added. So now you can see in the preview that my background image is updated. Similarly, I can go here, make other changes. So if I select this block, I can see what kind of changes are available. Mainly, I can change the title. So if I change the title color, it changes to black. I can change the icon color. So let's go darker on the icon color, and that changes that search icon color. Earlier it was white. I change it to black and you'll see it updates here. And then the description color, maybe I'll go a little bit darker. So that's how you can control this stuff. And this is the author name, and we're good. Play around with this. The rest of the stuff is the standard editor that Zenler gives you out of the box, and I have made lots of videos that I'll link to show you how to use that editor. But this essentially is the blog functionality. Now you won't be able to add these blogs to other pages because there is a separate page made just for blogs. The last thing I want to point out here is you can also go into the settings. So if you go back into the blog settings, you can edit the blog post page. So if I click on edit page, this is the page for individual blog posts, just like this one. And again, we can't control much as far as the appearance of that individual post page. But what I can do here, so it's showing this is where your blog content is going to go. Obviously we can't do anything there, but we can add additional blocks. So I can say that I want to add a call to action, and I can pick one of these call to action blocks and just add it, and this will show up on every single blog post. So this can be kind of like your sign up for my newsletter or join the 5-day challenge. Whatever your call to action is, you can add it here, and then you can lead them to a marketing funnel or a course all within Zenler, which is what I love the most about this blog functionality. And there you have it, course heroes. That is how you can blog in Zenler and have everything under a single roof. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I release a new video, and I will put all the links in the description below. Thank you and keep creating.